this kid could have just like been making money and living out his dreams like he was, and he just decided to fill his heart with so much hate and start projecting so much hate. Hello, HalfMike here, and I just wanted to say real quick, if you've been enjoying my content, please remember to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch so you can always catch us when we're live and see more content. Also, if you are new here, welcome in, and if you're enjoying the video, please remember to like it because it helps me out a lot. I also post funny clips and other things on TikTok. All the links are in the description below, and thanks again. Now let's get into the video.
I guess we'll wait to see what happens from here. And then
What a
Aiden
moron.
Ross, the voice of a generation, is being unjustly persecuted.
Man.
This, according to...
Speaking of morons, this is a classic case of a huge fucking moron. The fall from grace. I didn't even like Aiden Ross's content before when it was just like playing. I'm not a 2K player, but when it was just playing 2K player, meeting rappers and athletes, like that's super rad for him. And I bet like it was a dream come true. Like it's cool. Just I didn't really care. I thought his dating stuff was pretty whack too. I thought he was pretty reckless and just I don't know. There was just something about him I didn't like. It always seemed like to me, like even though he was comfortable with his sexuality, it seemed like he was constantly somewhat making fun of the idea of homosexuality and like still playing it off as like a weird or bad thing, which made me uncomfortable. But obviously, I don't know enough about him or anything to be able to say that with certainty. But I didn't like the vibe I got. But then obviously the more he got into Andrew Tate stuff, Andrew Tate's obviously a garbage human being and who doesn't even deserve to be talked about at all, other than the fact that like, you know, to jail. But he got closer to him, got sucked into the alt-right pipeline, and now he's like full crazy. Now he's like openly transphobic all the time. He's openly homophobic in like really older ways with older talking points. He's anti-woke, whatever the fuck that means, and he is like watching porn on Kick and streaming the Super Bowl. I could give a shit about the Super Bowl, but this kid could have just like been making money and living out his dreams like he was, and he just decided to fill his heart with so much hate and start projecting so much hate for probably reasons of him feeling unsatisfied generally. There's been an alleged thing that he might have been in a going through a bad breakup around the time he met Andrew Tate and was a little vulnerable at the time, which, you know, Andrew Tate has made a career out of specifically learning and focusing on manipulating people in vulnerable states. So it's not entirely unreasonable, but I don't know, like he could have just kept living out like his and so many other people's dreams by like just playing the newest 2K games and meeting athletes and rappers. That like what a crazy life that is, and having them over and stuff. But instead he just decided to start punching down at everyone he possibly could for reasons I will never understand, but I never really got Aiden in the first place.
To the warped, deluded brain inside of Aiden. So Aiden, who is yet to be accused by anyone for being too smart, at least by people that do not have brain injuries, he's been having himself a little time as of late. He's an absolutely massive streamer. He's also kind of become Andrew Tate's lackey over the last several
100%.
months or year. And since his buddy got snatched up by the Romanian authorities, some have said he's gone off the deep end, which in part has been seen as why he's kind of testing out the waters with this new streaming service, Kick. He says they have more lax rules, that he can stream pretty much anything. And the form that has taken recently is pretty special. For one, he live streamed the Super Bowl to around 100,000 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, I guess that's like super illegal. I just assume because like the NFL or someone owns that content. I didn't know that was illegal, but I could have assumed it was illegal. I also have to assume you're allowed to stream parts of it. Like, can you react to best plays and stuff? I assume. I don't know what the rules are there, because not a sports person, never been super interested in that stuff. But I also can't help but wonder, how is Stake, because Stake is the company that owns Stake, has a huge investment in Stake, for lack of a better choice of words, in the Kick streaming platform. That's kind of their whole thing. It's just like a big website to funnel people back to crypto gambling. Or at least that's what I kind of think. That's what it seems like. But they have to be getting slapped with fines or something from something like this, or catching flack in some regard, or like him showing porn. Or I heard that there was other creators over there that are like streaming themselves having sex and doing other crazy things. It's getting really wild over there, and I have to assume that's costing them money in some way. Otherwise, like, why would Twitch be so against it? Because it's not advertiser friendly, and I guess they don't really prioritize making money off advertisements. I don't know, I just don't understand it.
Viewers talked about trying to get his Nazi buddy Nick Fuentes over on the platform, as well as deciding it'd just be fun to have a watch party for porn.
What do y'all want to watch, bro? I don't support porn. Like, I don't support the shit.
So why are you watching it?
Here, bro? I don't support the shit. I don't condone it. I don't support it.
With an audience seemingly...
Okay, so like, I feel like that's the same thing as Trainwreck saying, you know, I don't condone gambling, I don't support gambling, and I even have that little thing on my screen, that tiny little text on the screen that says, you know, like, gamble responsibly or don't gamble, whatever the fuck. And then he spends 37 hours straight gambling. Like, you actions speak louder than words, and your actions scream you're full of shit with your words. So, like, I don't know. You have to be pro porn in some regard, or okay with porn to some extent, if you're going to broadcast it to thousands of people. And what's really messed up about that is a fair amount of them are children. And that's really where the discussion gets super dark fast, and just like, what are you doing? What is this person doing? This is highly inappropriate. This is why we have rules against this on other platforms. This is not okay. You know, obviously, like, the internet's a wild place, and people oftentimes end up exposed to things they shouldn't be way too young, or way before they should. But to have a massive creator who knowingly has a younger fan base broadcasting something like that to a younger audience is irresponsible, and it's like incredibly damaging. Like, it's and it's just one of those things that's so impressively avoidable that it's just crazy we're even having this conversation at all.
Full of minors.
Wait, how old are you guys in the chat, bro? Jesus, I didn't know that.
Ray doesn't say it out loud, but it appears that many in the chat answer his question, and they're well under the age of 18. Though also here, some reports have claimed that he turned on age restrictions for the stream. That also results...
Yeah, but age restrictions are just a click, and you can lie about your age on the internet. Everyone knows this. This is why we have those safeguards of actually not allowing the content. You know, like, this is arguably like a felony, I think. Like, I don't know if it's a felony to show inappropriate content to children. I'm pretty sure it is. It should be if it's not. So, like, how do you even prosecute that? He just did that to thousands of minors. Thousands.
Resulted in this fun little moment where you had people like Jake Lucky tweeting out the clip, with Aiden seemingly not happy about that, and a screenshot then going around where Aiden says, "Keep yourself safe," which some say is a super ominous and threatening thing in its own right, but others also noting if you take the first letter, it's KYS, kill yourself. Right. And seemingly with this, Aiden is moving over to Kick, posting a video a few days ago announcing this. And then following that, we saw that Aiden got banned from Twitch for the 8th time. This time, it reportedly being permanent, which, if he was already leaving, probably wouldn't bother him that much. Except, no, he makes a very big deal about it.
If I had blue hair and did my makeup, would you have banned me, Twitch?
And I was with this saying, if he was someone else, this wouldn't have happened.
And that's where we're seeing the alt-right talking points of just like, oh, it's the woke people, you know, like if I was, I don't know if the claim there is if I was transgender, they wouldn't care, or if I came off as a liberal, they wouldn't care, or if I came off as alternative, they wouldn't care. I don't know exactly what the claim is. It's vaguely a lot of things, but he has said blatantly transphobic things, a lot of them lately. And a lot of blatantly homophobic things too.
I'm permanently banned on Twitch. It's done. It's already done. But I got permanently banned for no reason. At all.
Though he did later say there was a reason, he just didn't think that the reason made sense, but declined then to go into further detail for legal reasons. You know, the biggest standout of the story is just how he's victimizing himself in this. Like, I think he's within 24 hours of saying he's like MLK, gonna drop his own.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how many people just decide. Okay, so the actually showing minors porn on the internet, which is a disgusting sentiment, probably a felony, should be a felony. That aside, it's amazing to see how many people go through this wave of like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna start taking out all of my anger on the internet on marginalized groups, and they just make it their life's effort to focus on and viciously go after some of the most oppressed and marginalized and unprotected people in our societies. And it's crazy to see that, you know, not go well for them. It's when you live your life so hatefully, you find a lot of hate finds itself back to you. And yeah, you might be making money off that process. Yeah, your name might be known in that process, but you're swimming in a sea of hate, you know? And even if it's for money, that weighs on a person. Either way, like, you're not going to be happier. You're not going to be happier overall. It doesn't matter how much money you make. You spend most of your life in a confrontation for fun. There's just no way. And not only that, it's interesting to see that, like, they can't handle the situation of everyone punching up at them after they're getting called out for using their massive platforms to punch down. And they're like, no reason. They're coming after me for no reason. But like, not too long ago, you were saying, like, I'm saying shit and everyone's scared to say, you know, people are scared to say this because, you know, it's the truth or whatever. So, you know, it's speech that is like, not, you know, it's speech that's viewed as harmful or viewed as damaging or discouraged. And then you start going on this path of like only saying that stuff. And then you're like, everyone's coming after me for no reason. What are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? You're the one who decided to get all confrontational. You were just playing video games and hanging out with famous people. And then all of a sudden you decided to make every moment about attacking someone. And surprise, surprise, now every now and then you're getting attacked from, if it's not Twitch, it's people on Twitter, it's people, you know, in comment sections, it's reaction videos, it's something, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, he's just so dumb. He's just so actually dumb. And it's like how easily he's been manipulated by Andrew Tate also highlights how gullible and dumb and naive this person is. And also, he represents a lot of our society, you know. He's like a living example of how easy it is for a person to actually slip down the alt-right rabbit hole and what it will look like over time and how it devolves a personality and a person, how it drives their friends away, which goes to ostracize them further and make the situation worse. It's a great look at all of that. It just unfortunately is a person with a massive amount of influence and platform themselves. So they're becoming an instrumental part of the alt-right pipeline as they are becoming a victim to it, you know, which is kind of how it works. You become part of it as you are warped by it.
I have a dream speech. But also, I will say, this doesn't come at a great time for Twitch. There are reports coming out now saying that Twitch's viewership has dropped around 10% in the past year. Well, I think part of that can be connected to viewership habits changing post-pandemic. You do also have to consider new competitors like Kick popping up, as well as YouTube acquiring top talent over the past 2 years. And some of that talent actually successfully migrating their audiences and thriving. Though I wouldn't say that's universal, but it is very notable. But ultimately, that's where we are, and we'll have to wait to see what happens.
Thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitch to join us live, like and subscribe, and I will catch you later.